It's nice to be able to breathe again.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Today on BBC Two, we have Alex Kurtzman taking a shit called Star Trek.
And he still hasn't figured out he needs to pull down his pants, too.
Oh, who pulls down their pants to poop? Come on.
You.
We grew up on television. The tube was our babysitter, guidance through the tube, morals sent by transmitter. This is where you go to get down to the know about great TV shows all on one show. It's time for some TGIF right here on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield.
We do one British TV series and all our friends pussy off. Don't show up.
Not even the limeys.
Yeah.
Not even the limey friends are here. So I guess we're just going to leave it to Mike Myers to describe what we're going to be talking about today.
Put on the telly to the BBC.
There you go.
Oh,
This
guys,
is
we need to
back-
watch our mouths this time. Because Penny
What?
has a grandson with her, and they're both listening.
Oh.
No bad words.
So Gary is not allowed to speak today.
Me neither. You need to gag me if you don't want bad words.
Man,
You're
many
getting
jokes
kinky.
to make with that fucking line. Yeah, I know. It's like,
Swear, Christian.
oh, God damn it.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Bonjour, everybody. I'm wearing my Pop Culture Minefield Gary and Keith shirt. Oh, that's awesome, Christian.
Jesus.
What?
We
Yes.
have this one. This is horrible.
He printed it twice? Published it twice? What are you saying?
No. We
Remove it, put it back up.
the theme of in which the comments are shown. I don't like this one because it takes too much space. I
Oh,
prefer.
yeah, this is better. Now I know what you're talking about.
So you can show it two different ways? I didn't know that.
Oh, there
Yeah.
are
There are
five
more.
styles.
Yeah, they're different
Oh, really?
styles. But this one
Let's
is
see all
just the
five
best.
styles.
Let's do it with Christian. Oh, he's wearing his Pop Culture Minefield shirt. Good.
What I said.
Nice. I wish I had
Right.
one.
Where's
And
Flo?
we have the normal. We have this one, which is even bigger.
Ooh, I kind of like that one now.
Yeah, because you're old and your eyes are bad.
No, I,
I
like
like
the
this.
layout of it. I like the
I
fact
like
that
this
they
one.
make. I like that one too, but I like the big round avatar. I like that better because you can see the avatar better.
Yeah, but if you have more people on a panel, it's too big.
Isn't it really? Because there's some
Yes.
people on the bottom row I would like to completely blind the audience of seeing.
Thank you, mother lover.
I think he means Shanatsky because Shanatsky is bottom row when he joins.
No, I am always bottom row.
It's all you fuckers. That's who it is. It's all of you. All right,
Yeah.
so thanks again, Christian. He's awesome. He's such a good friend to this channel, and I consider him a friend of mine. Warning, little ears are listening. Well, just remember, Penny, and this is important to know, that every single foul word I ever say is said properly in a sentence.
Yeah.
And it comes from the heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean it. That's important.
We all do.
That's like, okay, I'm in the car with Father Weems. I think I was 25. It was like the year before I joined the Army. And we're going to go have lunch. And we're in his Mercedes. And you think, oh, a priest owns a Mercedes. It was a piece of shit Mercedes. It's constantly giving him problems.
Sorry, Penny.
We just get the car started and it stalls. And then he tries to start it again and it stalls again. And he says, God damn you, out loud. And it shocked me. I've never heard him use a foul word in my life. And I went, Father, and he goes, I meant it.
So it was not in vain.
It was not in vain. He says, I meant it. I want this car sent to hell. Christian Delorme with a $5 Canadian super chat. A random super chat. Drummers used to lead armies into battle. This is true. And guitarists were left on the street corners begging for change. Also true. Love you, Anima. Yeah, man. The pipe and drum corps. They would right up there with the well, we'd call them guidons, but the flag bearer also out in front. And there's some amazing stories out there about those guys. If you dig up history, especially during the Revolutionary War.
Okay, and those kind of
Gutsy
stories
sons of
that I know, and you know, that are facts that nowadays, are only known by. And that's your video, Christian.
Aw.
Oh, Penny says Gordon is
Grandson.
grandson is 3.5, and he will say, quote, what the hell, end quote, in the correct way. He didn't get that from me. I think one of the funniest things my son ever did, Benjamin, we're sitting at the table, and my mother-in-law says, do you have anything you would like to tell me, Gary? And I went, what do you mean? And she says, your son called me a bitch. And I looked at her for a second and I went, I like you. I would not call you that. I said, the person who cusses in front of Benjamin the most is Lori. And it was so funny because she was yelling at somebody. We're driving on I-95 and somebody cut her off. And she goes, you son of a bitch. And then I hear Benjamin in the back going, some bitch, some bitch, some bitch. And I went, no, Ben, no, don't. No, keep going. It's all right. It's good. That's a good word.
That's cute.
Okay,
So,
apparently, I disappointed him. So I will have to fetch for another video.
Oh, he wants a better video.
Yeah.
Another one, I suppose.
Sounds
I mean-
awesome.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man? Where's the money? This evening is ruined. Look,
I hope you had enough.
There's a bunch of videos for you, Christian.
Now,
Not about the one where he beats him up. That is so funny.
Now today's slideshow is ungodly long, so I'm gonna start it right now.
Oh, because you did the entire series in little made slideshow for a whole series. This show is unbelievably good coming from the BBC. It is, and I want to point this out again, that this is the mystery series. It's a police procedural. It's a supernatural drama. It is science fiction. And it is also a historical drama. That's a lot of things, moving parts. But it works. I consider it one of the best procedural cop dramas I've ever seen. But then it's also got the elements of sci-fi and the other elements, drama. It's just unbelievably well done show.
Yeah,
It's
let's
been
not forget
adapted.
it's British, so it's really nice to listen to them talking. I love that. I love British English.
So, well, look, first of all, John Sim, I loved him. He played the Master in the renewed Doctor Who series. And I think he played him all the way up into 2010. And then he was replaced by the female when he regenerated. And that was where they threw in the first regenerating as a female thing. So there was an American adaptation on ABC. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't write home about it from any place. So, but they also had a Spanish adaptation, a Czechoslovakian adaptation, a Russian adaptation, and a South Korean adaptation. Now, I have actually tried to check out the Korean one, and it was terrible. It was terrible. I did not like it at all. So badly shot. So, but this series, the British series, is the one that got it right. And I really do. I liked what they did with this show. And what it is you have a detective played by John Sim named Sam Tyler. And Sam Tyler is in the middle of an investigation for a serial killer. And he knows he's got his man. But in the fact that they had to find some evidence, he leaves. And as he's going to his car, the serial killer runs him down, trying to kill him, but fails.
Here's the thing.
And
the serial killer has kidnapped his girlfriend,
yep,
who she's a detective assigned to the case too. I don't remember because I saw this show a time ago, but I think you don't know. They never show you who's the driver. You left to
but
assume
it was established by the creator of the show that it was the killer, that he intentionally ran him over, and the kidnapping of his. But you do discover by the finale of the series, when he goes back, he comes out of the coma, that and this is great. He's in a coma, and now he meets his boss, the Gov, who's your classic 70s hard-nosed, gnarly, fucking British cop.
Yes, he enters into a coma, and inside the coma, he wakes up after being run over, and just to find himself
Back
on
in the
another
70s,
city, and in
the
1973.
It's the same city, London. He's in the same city.
Oh
and
yes,
he
yes,
works
he
for
lies
the same
about.
precinct, and he thinks it's a prank. Like, what the fuck is going on? And one of the coolest aspects of this series is it's the question, really. Is he experiencing this for real? Did he really go back in time? Or is this all some sort of fantasy he's living out in his coma mind?
It takes a while for you as the viewer to figure out that he's in a coma too.
Dude, read this one.
Told you. That's funny.
We need another video. Oh,
go ahead.
I'm trying to find. Okay, this is PG, apparently. I mean, Penny's grandson wouldn't know.
No, hopefully not.
We can throw up this video too. Hey guys, don't forget to click that like, subscribe, and notification button. We appreciate you watching the show. Now, back to it. Back to it. So, I lost my train of thought. I was saying something, and now I can't remember where I was at. I was explaining something about the show.
the mystery aspect, because at first you don't know, could you really go
Well,
back
yeah,
in time? Or is
okay,
it
yeah,
in his
let's
head?
get back to that. You don't know if he's in a coma and imagining this, or if he is in a coma, but because of the injury, he has somehow managed to teleport to the 70s.
You
And
don't even know
some of
if
the
he's dead.
strangest stuff is that there are moments when he hears the outside world talking to him through radios and television. And there's even a threat made to his life through one broadcast. And but there's this mysterious thing that there's this constant image of a child with a rabbit, stuffed rabbit, talking to him. And it's just so much is in here, but at the same time, it's like the human brain doesn't work this way. So I've always thought, no, he really went into a world, but in order to be in that world, he had to somehow be in a coma state. He falls in love with a girl, a real person. These aren't like figments of his imagination because they're consistent and they have lives outside of his involvement. And that's the craziest part is that
Yes,
you have to come to terms with the fact that this
these
is real.
yes, these people exist because they have you can see their lives when he's not there.
Yeah, it's insane, and I just love it. It's a great procedural show, cop procedural. It's a great mystery. It's a great drama, and it's good science fiction. And I love this actor that plays his
Oh,
Oh
boss,
yes,
the governor.
He is
the
so
the
perfect.
best character
Really.
in the whole show.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
Philip Glenister is his name, the actor, but the character's name is DCI Hunt or Gene Hunt. And of course, the great thing about this show is that he's kind of your modern woke cop going back, and he
mm.
starts finding out that that's not really helping him do his job. In fact, he gets his ass beat a few times for it.
However, he brings up modern techniques that do not need modern tech,
Yeah,
and
and he
and
ends up using it.
he helps them in investigation with those techniques.
And those techniques end up working. And so they're implementing these things. He meets his father when he was younger, who went
And his
Oh,
missing,
mom,
yeah. And the
and
mom
his
too, yeah.
mother, and himself.
yes,
And there's a mystery around them because it's important what's going on with his father. And I just tell you, man, this is one of the best fucking shows I've ever seen. And I'm shocked to say the BBC made this.
well, you can see some of the first steps into wokeness here. They were testing the waters. I haven't seen the spin-off, which oddly,
Oh,
no,
Ashes to Ashes, which is also a David
yeah,
Bowie song.
I think the only actor that remained here was the one who plays
The
Gene
DCI
Hunt,
Hunt.
and
Yes.
there's an explanation for that.
Well, the thing is it's also a decade later. It's the 1980s in Ashes to
Oh,
Ashes. I never wanted to watch it because I felt the ending to this was enough for me. I was
yeah,
very satisfied with how this ended because this guy is all he's trying to do is get back home. And then, ironically, when he gets back home and he finds out what happened while he was in a coma, while you were sleeping, he's lost contact with giving a shit about these people because he discovers all he cares about are the people back in that world he was in. And as I recall, what doesn't he discover that they were real people?
Yeah,
Looking
no,
back
he
on the
doesn't.
history, he
I
doesn't.
think he does.
Either
think
way
he
it goes,
knows.
because I thought for some reason he had looked some stuff up in that final episode. Give us my give us the clothes, right, Sam. And this is just, it's really, this is now procedural drama right now. And you get all of this mixed in all at once, because you'll go from this and then go to a moment where a radio or a TV starts talking to him. And it's not really talking to him. He's hearing a doctor or someone in his like his mother. He hears these different voices talking to him through the radio or TVs. It's really good shit.
Look at
He's
that
watching it.
poster.
He's watching a TV program, and all of a sudden it
I knew.
switches and it's talking to him.
Yep.
He thinks he's losing it at first.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to make of any of this shit.
Well, would you?
Oh no, first thing I would be doing is I would test to see if I could read, or test to see if I could feel pain, because you can't read in your dreams. Words don't actually manifest. It's gibberish.
Yep. But you can
And-
feel pain.
But you see words in this world. He sees them. He's reading and writing
Yeah.
notes, and it's like you can't do that in a dream. And so I'm like, this place is fucking real. I love that when he's like, we had no evidence. He's like, you can't just go do that. We had no evidence.
Well,
and-
he's going crazy at first with the old school methods that they use, but in the end he adapts, and it makes him a better cop because he's working with what he has.
And it's true, because he begins to work with them instead of against them. He ends up becoming a better cop. And I love that.
It's win-win. He's helping them, and they are helping him understand his work better.
I love British alleyways. I'm sorry, the townhomes. I love their alleyways.
Oh yeah.
Now, here's the kicker.
Oh, here's
don't-
where the kid, and this time it's a scientist, and then later it's a child with a bunny. So
Yep.
go ahead, Martin.
The kicker here is, I don't remember if in the last in the finale of this series, or in the next one, in the spin-off, it is revealed to you that DCI Hunt, he knows what is happening. He always knew. He has always known, but he cannot tell him.
Well, that's the thing.
Okay.
Is I suspected while watching the show that DCI Hunt is an anchor person, as they refer to it in Marvel now. That's what they
Yeah, no,
are. They're anchor people. That
no,
he
he's
is
a guide.
actually, he is there by choice.
Yes, because and he's a guide.
But
Oh,
I won't watch the second series because I was so happy with the first one. I didn't want to see anymore. But all my friends keep, especially my British friends,
oh, we
who
have
none showed
somebody.
up today.
We have somebody in our Rumble chat. Old school 1972. Okay. And he asked,
Nice.
howdy. What are we analyzing here? Gary?
What do you mean? The name of the show? Life on Mars.
Oh, no, he's asking what are we talking about here. Most probably they don't know.
Life
Show.
on Mars. Life on
Okay.
Mars. We're talking about the show Life on Mars. We're doing a basic assessment of the series and why I consider this one of the best procedural cop dramas I've ever seen. That's also a science fiction show. That's also a mystery. That's also a historical drama. I mean,
It's an
there are so many elements of this show that make it so amazing. And I couldn't believe the British wrote this.
Why not?
well, they used
don't
to
wanna get
write
into
good
it.
Doctor Who.
Well, that, you go to some of their regular stuff. The only stuff they seem to really do well with is mystery. Their police procedurals, I don't think are always all that good. I think their best stuff they did is like Wire in the Blood, Touching Evil. And then I find some of their other stuff. Luther's another good one.
Yes.
But it was good all the way up until this last stuff. And then I didn't like the last season or the film.
Dude, I only saw the 3 seasons of Luther, That was before BBC pulled out from Mexico. And the movie. I didn't know there were
Yeah, I
two
have it.
additional seasons.
Yeah, there are 2 additional seasons and a film. And I was not interested in the final season or the film. I didn't think they were that good. I still think he was good. I think
Hmm. Mm.
what's his name? Idris Elba is a very good actor, and I think he's good in the part. But I don't know. This show is so much better. I consider this, you know, as good as any American procedural drama. And that's saying something because I just think the British tend to kind of drop the ball a little bit when they do stuff like this. And the only two I really liked that were procedural, they're also mysteries, were Touching Evil and Wiring the Blood. And I've always thought and believe, and I've met other people who say Wire in the Blood is actually a reference to The Thing.
Mm.
Has nothing to do with what the show's about. It's him putting the copper wire into the blood.
Oh,
And I always liked it. Oh, Billy Pine, mate. I just love the dialogue in this.
mincemeat of these Bolsheviks. Man, I love the CI Hunt. With
Oh, I absolutely agree. His character's played so well. And I'd never even seen that guy before. What's his name? Philip Glenister. I'd never seen him in anything before this show. And I'm like, how do you get an actor of that quality that I've never seen before?
They're both so perfect at playing cops. Both of them. So believable.
Yep. Now, the thing I will tell you that the English, the British do very well at is comedy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what their forte is. I love British humor, but I don't really consider most of their procedural dramas very good, and especially the stuff that's come out in the last 10 years because it's just ridiculously woke as fuck, and I don't want any part of it. This is right at that tail end. This came out while Doctor Who was still good.
mhm.
The interpersonal relationships here are so amazing, and this is why, as you're gradually going along with this story, you realize this is a real place. This is really happening to him. I don't know if it's still in his coma mind, but this was created for him to go to. But the real important thing is that as he starts delving into his family back in time, um, I began to wonder, is what he's doing here going to impact the future?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is that wise for him to go and meet his young self?
I don't know. Somewhere, somehow, if there's a God in this world, God sent him there to do something. And that's really kind of, I think there's a God element to this. And the ending is
Um,
so shocking to this series, but also so rewarding.
um, at some level, yes, but there's an undertone that didn't like. After watching the show, that was an afterthought. Now, about the show, there are details that because when I watched it with my wife, we were both literally obsessed with the show. We binged that shit,
That's what
and
you
I
do. You become obsessed
Yeah.
with this show. This is
and
one of
then
those
I
shows that's so well done, you can hardly wait to see the next episode.
yep, and I ran to the internet to know more about it. Would you like to know more? And I found out what was really happening, told by the creators and the showrunners, and I was, why in the fuck did you tell me that in the last episode?
So what
It
did you
wouldn't
read?
change all that the nature of this world. This is an in-between world between dead and living cops,
Oh yeah, they kind of
just for
allude to that in
cops.
the show. They kind of allude to it, that this is that middle ground.
Yes, so all the people in the prison are in the same state as him, but he's the only one that can remember his previous life. And Jean, he is there to guide them to the afterlife. But today, for they to go to the afterlife, they have to resolve some personal issues. That's why they are there. And
Well, there's also that he's not dead yet.
yeah,
Yeah. And he's
So
apparently in
that's
such a bad shape that he's already there.
hmm well, remember, he's alive because he's hooked up to machines.
Yeah.
He's being kept alive.
And maybe this
At
is
some
just
point,
for him to
at
get
some point,
started.
people is trying to unplug him. He
Yeah.
can hear them through the radio discussing if they want to unplug him or not.
That was freaky, yeah.
You think?
But I think there's just such a high chance of him dying that he's sent there like to get a head start. They can pull him out. No harm done, but he can get started while he's fighting for his life, something like that.
so really, in many ways, all these people are living at his expense because he's not dead yet. Which then makes me wonder what happens at the end.
Well, every, every one of them moves on because in the spin-off they are not there anymore.
Yeah, but at the end of the series, they still are. He goes back
Yeah.
to them. It's kind of got that whole Dorothy aspect to it, in Wonderland. Because when the show begins, by the way, they use a blue filter on everything, and when he ends up back in time, it's really colorful. And I thought that
Yes.
was a nice little nod to Wizard of Oz.
Or the Matrix, in which the Matrix is green and the real world is normal lit. Oh, those blocks, those houses. And that's his mother, right there.
Yep. So he's interacting with his mother, which throws him off a little bit. But when he meets his younger self, that's pretty trippy.
It is.
And the one thing they do make clear is that the crimes that he's investigating are real crimes. So it's like this world, it's like, is this world?
A rerun of this world.
Could be wrong. Yeah.
And I think that kind of plays on something, because as I was a kid, we always played cops. And the cop show that we emulated when we were kids, Starsky and Hutch. So I think this kind of plays on that, the kids that grew up on those shows.
I liked Starkey and Hutch, but I was partial to Kojak. I think that was my favorite.
I watched Kojak with my dad, but I was absolutely a Starsky and Hutch fan. I was also a fan of Police Story by Joseph Wamba.
But my number one was SWAT.
SWAT,
Yeah.
because it was in the past. Nobody gets my humor.
I'm half asleep, so pardon me.
No, I know he's messing with me. Just I don't know how.
And John Sims, man, because I watch him now. You're watching him with me with the show Grace, and he's really good in that show. I like that one because when they adapt books is where they do well. Broadchurch season 1 was really good. The other seasons were garbage. Um, Grace is a good series because again, it's adapted from a hit book series. And I think they ended the series this year. I think this is the final season. But I watched this show because of Grace. Because of John Sims. I love John Sims as an actor.
Especially when he plays cops.
And by the way, Martin, this is for you.
Would you like to know more?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I always want to know more.
at all, Gary, right?
What's that?
That was not for me at all. I'm
No,
leaving
that
it
was for Martin because Martin
for
brought it
right
up and I
now.
downloaded it for him. Maybe some delicious cold coffee. Nummy.
I thought you were making fun of me for my spider adventures that I'm having lately.
Oh well, at least he's killing one. So and it's not a spider because it only has six appendage.
I
Not
don't
eight.
So
care. It's spider-like enough.
this is a new milk I tried out. It's premium milk, Gosner Foods, with no additives in it at all.
As milk should be.
And it's really very good.
Anima, you criticizing a movie in which they are wasting insects or insect-like creatures. It's like the Satanic Panic with Doom. You're playing a demonic game. I am killing demons. What can be more anti-demon than that?
True.
Man, I love Hunt's car. I think I have that in my Forza video game.
And by the way, the intro to the series kind of reminds me of Starsky and Hutch too.
Really?
Yeah, the way they did it, it's got that procedural cop theme, everything. I just loved it. The only thing I don't like is when they act like football's a real sport.
Dude, thin ice. Very thin ice.
Don't walk into it, Anima. He's setting
So-
it up. That's bait. That
you just
is
run
bait.
around with a ball, right? And then occasionally fall down and act like you're really injured. That's a great sport.
Dude,
Where are our
that
line
was
friends? We really don't.
that was the Italian contribution. They invented that shit. Because
Also, the South American team does it too.
Argentina, because they're
Argentina.
Italian.
There you go, Argentina.
Now, if you've seen Scottish, England, and Germans, man, those guys do not believe in anything.
Well, first of all,
Unless
my
there's
favorite-
a broken bone, they don't stop. They kill each other in the field.
there's only one football that I really enjoy as much as watching an American football team. That's Irish football. Because they actually hold the ball sometimes. It's the most bizarre sport I've ever seen. They hit each other. I'm like rugby
Yeah.
style
The-
hits. I'm like, of course the Irish would come up with this. When they're not drinking, they're inventing violent sports.
To play while drinking.
Yeah,
Because
you
there's
don't play
a
it sober.
there's a debate over if I start in Ireland or in Germany, and I've always said I think it started in Ireland, and then the English adopted.
The English civilized it, sort of.
Well, you had a guy by the name of oh shit, I just got his name. Wrote the book on fair fighting. The Marquis of Queensberry, who some say he was a dandy. In fact, if you watch the show Mike Tyson Mysteries, the ghost is that character, the Marquis of Queensberry, and he is very flamboyantly gay. But they tend to like to do that with old characters, real people. Like suddenly announce that, well, clearly they were gay. It's like, you say clearly, and yet you have no evidence. Sort of like with King Richard, the Lionheart, Coeur de Lion. He is said to have been homosexual. Well, why is that? Well, he had a close relationship with Philip of France, who was openly gay.
It's usually not a big
So
kiss.
then I'm technically gay because I have so many gay friends.
Yes, gay by association. Right.
Argument. Well, there was this one time in Damascus where he had committed some sort of sin where he had to go out before his army naked and lay prostrate to apologize to them. I'm like, are you realizing that period of time, the way they treated anyone, even royalty, if they were found out to be that, would be drawn and quartered? That was the common practice. So no, your idea doesn't work historically. Because all it is, the evidence they lay out is that apology that he had to make for something he did, and his relationship with Philip Augustus of France. It's like you make a stupid argument. You walk into somebody who actually knows their history of that period, they just get up and walk away from you because you're dumb. And sitting and listening to you makes them dumb. We can stop
But
the
what's
hooligan. So this is the part I was talking about, where you start dealing with the football, English football,
Mhm.
and they end up going to a game, and that's when he sees himself for the first time, and his dad is going to a football game, and of course they're in Manchester, so you know what team they support?
The
Manchester.
Man Q, the Big Red.
Please tell me you guys know something about football, for God's sake. Manchester United.
Manchester United. The
I
Man
said it
Q.
already. You don't get to say it after I say it and then act like you knew it.
I knew it.
Yeah, but you didn't say it.
because you were talking?
Forgive
I
me.
got
I'm
quiet. I
busy
shut up
making
for a second.
shows.
I actually shut up for a second to give you guys a chance, and neither of you replied to it. Oh, fuck. Okay, you don't know it's Manchester United. Okay.
Of
course
course
you
I
They are
know.
hooligans. Look, man, we have some crazy shit after football games here in the United States. We do.
Really?
But
Really?
nothing compared to the hooligans. The worst
I
we ever
never-
saw was when they started flipping police cars and setting them on fire. That's the worst
What?
I've seen. I think that was Denver.
Dude, I have never heard of that.
That was crazy. What we end up usually having is fights in the parking lot. That's what you end up with.
I have never
Fans of
imagined
the
that.
fans
to
of
be
the
honest.
49ers are fucking nuts. I love them, but they're nuts. So hooligans is something that I kind of understand because we have that here in the United States with American football. Not so much with baseball or other sports, but definitely with American football. We got the same thing as hooligans here. You get these people who are devoted religiously to their teams. And I've seen it in people getting into fisticuffs or scuffs up in the bleachers because someone's wearing a jersey for the wrong team on that side of the field. We did that, and we're surprised because we went to see the Army Navy game. We ended up on the cover of the Washington Post. I'm on the cover, Washington Post, for that game, and from that year, because we were there with our jerseys, and people couldn't figure out what fucking team we supported. It's like, no, these are our jerseys from our high school. It's the entire football team. But we were on the wrong side because we were rooting for Army and we're on the Navy side, and that was funny. But they were
Oops.
really nice to us. They were very nice to us. Fought in the war. And when they say that, that means World War II. Because this is in the 70s, and guys from World War II would be just 30 years older. They pretty much, World War II vets, when this show is taking place, would be pensioners at this point, which is the British version of our Social Security. Hey, CJ with Action Grip is here. Doctor Who
Yeah.
is dead to me. No, it is. It's absolutely. I will go back and watch classic Doctor Who. That's alive for me. But modern Doctor Who, I don't give two shits what they're making anymore. It's garbage. Heart flaming garbage. Anybody else chatting? Let's see.
No, we have
Now,
a.
my mother didn't actually cuss, by the way. My mother, because we had one of those moments where just it was like something from a comic strip, you know. Because I said, stop cussing, and she goes, I'm not cussing. I said, yes, you are. You're just using different words. Because she'd use fudge, dang blam it,
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
still
But
cussing.
to me, that's still cussing. When I was a kid, I was a little kid. I was like 5 years old. I said, yes, you are. You're just using different words. And that cracked my dad up when I said that. That's when my dad always said I was playing on a different field than everybody else because I was like smarter than so many people in the room, or more aware than they were. And my dad, it's one of the few things my dad ever complimented me on is my intelligence. And because even though his IQ is higher than mine, I could beat him in an argument, debate. I beat him all the time. And he'd get mad. That's how I knew I won. Because he'd get really mad at me. All right, I'm done tucking this shit. All right, I won. I think the last debate we ever had was over, what's his name? Bill O'Reilly. Because he says, I won't watch that guy. I don't agree with some of the stuff he talks about. And I'm like, so you only watch people that you 100% agree with? Good luck with that. Finding anything to watch. And he got mad when I challenged him on it. I'm like, I think that's a dumb stance take because you don't fucking agree with him. This hostage situation, by the way, is really good. And right at the moment, and they use it very cleverly, that right at the moment where he is needed the most, he has one of those moments with the connection to the outside world that is risking people's lives in this world. And by the way, she's adorable. I don't know who she is. I don't think I've seen her in much anything else.
Liz, always forget her last name, but there's Liz something.
Let me go see if I can find it because we have the cast.
I'm on it.
here.
Liz White.
And by
Yes.
the way, the soundtrack to this show. I mean, you get classic fucking rock songs, and my favorites were like
Yeah.
you would hear like Elton John, Cozy Powell. What was some of the other ones? The 3 Degrees. I mean, these were great rock songs from the period.
They really beam
And
you
so-
back into the 70s.
Absolutely do, and they don't do it in a way that's so typical. Like the joke is like every single time you see a Vietnam film, it's you know, it's either not Three Dog Night. It's either CCR or what's
Fortunate
the other one?
Son.
Fortunate Son. Yeah, Fortunate Son. God, just the excessive use of songs in Vietnam War films.
Dude,
It's like,
it's
you
like
know what? There were soldiers in the 90s that listened to Peter Gabriel, not fucking hard rock. I would sit there and I could hear them walking by them, and they got their headsets on in the transport, and you can hear or
It-
you'd hear this fucking hard rock, and then you come over and walk by me, and you hear like Peter Gabriel, in your eyes, like the heat. Those
man,
headsets are in the army. They're not noise canceling, so you can hear them. People like got really dumb about that in the army. I'm like, turn your music down. Everyone can fucking hear you. Oh, sorry, dude.
man, it's
They'll
like
do that at lights out. They'll do it at lights out, and you'll hear somebody fucking rocking out in their bed. They think nobody else can hear them.
it's like with
Oh
tangos.
God, yeah, David
Apparently,
Bowie, of course. I'm sorry, I got to say this. David Bowie is prominently used in this series because
well,
the series title comes from the song "Life on Mars," as does the
yes,
sequel series "Ashes to Ashes," which is based on another David Bowie song. You're gonna say something, though.
yeah. Apparently, the Hollywood only has the rights to use one tango in the whole tango catalog. In each movie, every time you hear a tango, it's the same tango. Always.
I'm looking right now. I just opened it up. Oh my God, yeah. In the 8th episode, the final episode, they played the song, which leads to my thing that this is an adaptation of very loose adaptation of Wizard of Oz. Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Mm.
What a Wonderful World by Israel Kanawekwaoli, who sadly was dead by the time the series was done. He was dead before that song became famous. But what a beautiful song. It's one of my favorite covers. I bet this guy eats a lot of sausages.
And
Got a mouth
porridge.
designed for it, and he's tubby.
I don't even know what to say to
And of course, you know, they do point out this, and I don't think this is woke. I think this is the right kind of woke. Excessive woke is our problem. The right kind of woke is showing that women can be equals to men when it comes to doing certain jobs. Now, agreed, I would not want to have a female officer try to tackle a guy and take him down for me. I would go, I'll handle that one. Because I've
Or
seen
as
how
a
that shit turns
firefighter.
out. Yeah, just there's certain gigs I would have problems with them doing, even though they could do jobs in the fire department. I don't know if it's safe for everyone around them if they aren't capable of physically handling some of the stuff. And that's
Exactly.
where it
I
comes
mean,
in. It's the
sometimes
physical aspect of jobs that I have problems with females.
sometimes you have to carry a guy that weighs 200
Well, you know, I
pounds.
did that to the woman who would end up being my late ex-wife, Alicia. I made her and her partner cry because I made the two of them carry the biggest guy other than me in the company, and they had to drag him through a whole course. And they made it through 90% of it, but when they got to the oiled sand and had to drag him under low crawling, drag him.
Mm.
And low crawling is not what you think. It's not on your elbows. It's laying flat on the ground and using one hand and one leg to push you. And when they got him in that and had to go into the barbed wire, they couldn't get through and they started crying. I'm an asshole because I said, "Oh, he'll be okay. Don't worry. Yeah, your tears will heal him. Go ahead, leave him. He'll recover all on his own. He doesn't need a medic."
You're such
And
an
I beat
ass.
it home for them to understand. They understood after that point and never argued again what I was saying. See, it's in theory, they like to argue with theory, but when practical application occurs, then they learn firsthand, maybe I shouldn't try to do that job. And I'm like, you learned something today. But I also knew some females that were fucking badass. The one that punched me, I told you about that one. I was like, holy shit. She was she was a heavier chick, and she was definitely had some muscle on her, and she was strong. Her name was Church. I don't know anybody's first names. I never learned a lot of guys and gals her first names in the military. You see their last name on their uniform, well, on this side, and that's what you know them as, or you come up with a nickname for them.
Man,
This
the
is
guy that
this deals with some corruption, as I recall, and he ends up getting fired. This guy creeped me out on the show because he almost represents the devil.
yes,
He's constantly telling Sim's character, basically,
see?
"You be a team player with me, and we'll get rid of him." Absolutely,
wish-
Gene Hunt's. Other than Sim, he is the best character in this show. The
no,
third best
he is
character
the
in this
best. Sims is the second.
I like Sim's character.
Eh,
Tyler, I liked his character. The third best character in this show was her character,
yep.
the woman he ends up falling in love with, and she's clearly in love with him pretty early in the show. I think it starts with attraction.
Okay, I have to do this.
I'm glad I made that video. Boosh.
He absolutely deserves that.
Hey, and
really.
Snortopupus is here. Hello. How you doing,
Hello
buddy?
again,
Good to
Snorty.
see you guys. It's good to see you and Bush. God, man. I go on other shows and I compliment the shit out of you guys. Talk about how awesome our chat is. Our regular chat. And I really miss some of you guys when you're not around. Like Tim, not Tim, what's his name? Tickle Trunk. And he says he'll be in the background listening, but I said, yeah, but we miss you when you're not chatting. And I think it's important, to have a relationship with your audience, with this kind of show in particular. That I commented, and the great thing is we have a shared community in this, in our community. Midnight's Edge, Loki, all of us are in the same community. And that's why we're all friends with each other. I do have to tell you something that happened on Monday. I got to hang out with Doomcock for a couple hours. It was fun, man. We had a blast. And at the end of the show, I pointed out to Doomcock that I had told Andre, I said, all Pop Culture Minefield is, at least it used to be, is the illegitimate child of Midnight's Edge and Doomcock. And then I told Doomcock what Andre said in response to it. He goes, I should have worn a rubber.
Yeah.
And Doomcock cracked up at that. And I said, Andre is the best, man. And if you didn't see, he put out his review for Alien Romulus.
Yes.
Not good, guys. It's not good. I was
haven't
worried.
seen one
I
good
was worried
review
they
so
were
far.
hiding things from us. And because when I saw those vials, when he's carrying those vials, that's the black goo. I said, that's the black goo. And if they're going to bring this shit back in, I'm out. I did not like his prequel films. I didn't think they were very good at all. That they're terrible, in fact. And dumb on top of that. I couldn't believe how stupid they were.
So, are you going to watch that movie before tomorrow's show?
Well, no.
Yeah.
No. Well,
I've got
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to go to the theaters on Sunday. If we're going to.
Ooh, that's a gnarly wound. Well, Andre and he just basically made a milkshake, protein milkshake, like they did
Ew.
in
Like in Twins.
like in Twins. So this is where they made the milkshake, huh?
Ah, Gary, that's another movie we still have to watch. Twins.
Oh
Oh
my God, you will
yes,
love that movie.
that movie
Uh,
is
I
awesome.
tell people the 3 films you have to see with Schwarzenegger, as far as comedies go, are Twins, uh, Kindergarten Cop, and Junior.
All right. Not a
They're
fan
the
of
best
Kindergarten
3
Cop.
comedies he did that were straight up comedies.
You don't like Kindergarten Cop?
I said Kindergarten Cop.
It's been
That was the
ages
second
since
film I
I've
mentioned.
seen it.
No, no. I thought Anima had said that she doesn't like it.
No, it's been ages, and she wants to watch with me
Oh,
because I love that fucking movie.
I'm
When
not
Kimball,
sure if I want to watch it because
when he's sitting
I
there and he
remember.
says, "I've got a headache," and the kid says, "Maybe it's a tumor." My dad says
it's not a
people get
tumor.
tumors. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. It's so fucking
Well,
funny.
there was a time where I was home alone, like alone in the house with my oldest brother, and we did summer jobs, and all the other people in the family were on holiday. And so we would watch TV every evening, and Schwarzenegger was big that summer. He played a lot of his movies, Total Recall and shit like that. So we watched a lot of those. And I remember that particularly Kindergarten Cop, I thought, what a stupid movie. That's what sticks in my mind. I don't remember the story or anything, but I know that
Because you
I
saw it,
thought that
you
stupid.
saw it being a kid. That's the
I wasn't a
thing.
kid. I was a
No?
teenager, beginning 20s. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it was. It has to be a late rerun then.
What I do remember is Total Recall because we watched that just coming home from the job. We had no hot water, so we had to take a cold shower. And then we discovered the fridge wasn't working either. So we were sitting there drinking warm beer, watching TV, and having our dinner. And Total Recall was on. And we just kept watching TV. We had the next day off. And the next movie came on. And we had switched to red wine from the basement because no fridge. Then you drink something that you can drink warm, right? So by the time it was like 1 a.m., Total Recall came back on again, and we were drunk, and we decided let's watch it again. It was fun. That was great.
See you at the party, Rita.
Completely hammered on red wine, and we rewatched it.
I don't know why, but you talked about hammered on red wine, and I just remember that night my sister stole a bottle of malt duck and disappeared into the communal bathroom in my aunt and uncle's house. It was the bathroom in the hallway for anybody there. And I opened the door and found her, and she was just heaving into the toilet. And I could see the bottle, and I just yelled really loudly, "Michelle's got some of that malt duck, and she's throwing up." She got so much.
Oh, you were a shitty kid.
I was a good kid unless it dealt with my sister, because my sister we loved each other, but we were at odds with one another. And I told you, my brother Mike tried to break up a fight between us once, and we turned on him. Both of us did. Started pulling his hair and kicking him, and he threw us out of the bed. Just took his bus and threw us on the bed. He says, "Fuck you, kill each other. See if I care." And he left the house. You did not get between my sister and me, man, because we were constantly doing stuff. And it really got good when she went to my dad one time, because she felt like she couldn't retaliate because I was my dad's son and she was kind of adopted. And my dad turned and looked at her, and he said to her, says, "If he does something to you, you are allowed to retaliate. I will not find you in fault for that, honey." And that was game on. And that's when we started really going at it. We get into fist fights, my sister and I. It was great, though. I loved her. It hurts me to this day that she and I don't have a relationship. I mean, we love each other, but I just can't have a relationship with her because of the schizophrenia. It's impossible to have a relationship with her because she's never quite ever herself. And she will just, we'll be having this great lucid conversation, then all of a sudden it turns weird. And it made my brother cry, Michael, when it threw us. Kill yourselves. Fuck you, kill yourself. See if I care. She showed up at his house doing Susie and rhymes, which was part of that form of schizophrenia where you're talking gibberish, but it rhymes. And she did that, and he was in tears when he called me. I don't know what to do, buddy. I don't know, little brother. I don't know what to do with her. And I said, I'll come over. And so I helped. And I called Luann, and that's when we had her committed. And she was committed for a while, and she hated Luann and me because we were the ones who did it. But she eventually got out, and when she's on her medication, she's good. But she tends to self-medicate, if you get my drift. She likes to toke up a lot, and I think she's done other drugs. And at first, I always thought she got schizophrenia because of the medication, self-medicating. But come to find out, it runs in the family. And for some reason, Mike and Luann were lucky and didn't get it from the Abrams side of the family. Only Michelle did. So, but I love her. And you know what? I just had a friend of hers, maybe her boyfriend, I have no clue, who this guy has friended me on Facebook. And I let it sit there for like 2 weeks before I finally accepted, because he wouldn't get rid of it. He wouldn't like remove it. I thought maybe if I don't accept it, he'll turn it off. But no, it kept going. So I accepted it yesterday. And I'm like, oh, please, just, I love Michelle, but I don't want her in my day-to-day life. She's exhausting. You know, you're driving home, Penny. I hope you're listening to us and not watching us.
Yes, please. Eyes on the road and drive safely.
Oh, I think Penny's a very safe driver.
Oh, I suspect she is too. I wish her husband would watch the show sometime.
She's
Could
driving
you
her
imagine
grandson
if
around
we
a
are
lot.
all wrong and Penny's just a speed demon?
Oh my God, we have to find out. Penny, you have to get your husband to watch and chat so I can ask him if you're a safe driver or if you're crazy as fuck.
Oh my God.
Like, I had this one girlfriend, man, I swear to God, she would tailgate like crazy. And I'm like, 2, 3 car lengths. Oh my fucking God. We're driving 70 miles an hour and she's tailgating people. I'm like, stop doing that. That is so fucking dangerous. You have no reaction time. If they hit their brakes, you're fucked. And especially when you're behind a big fucking Mack truck. Yeah. You get behind one of those things. I love that car, by the way. I love that car. What is
Yes.
that? Datsun? What is that?
I can't remember the name.
It looks like one of the old Datsuns. I loved it.
But I like Hunt's better. I don't know why I love that car. The car of DCI Hunt. I love that car.
Because cars
in
back
Oh,
then
he's
had
got a muscle
character.
car. Yeah, he's got a muscle car. Which
No,
is
it's a
more,
little, but
is it?
a muscle
Hold on.
car by British standards, because it's pretty small, and in that color is absolutely beautiful.
By the
Don't
way,
forget, our
The
cities are
American-
old,
I
our
think
streets
series,
are
the
narrow, our
American-
car can't be as big.
the American series, which isn't bad by any measure, it just didn't get an audience. It's enjoyable, but I did not like how they wrapped their show up. Because they got news that they weren't going to be renewed, so they wrapped up the show in one season. And come to find out, they're on a Mars mission and they were in cryo sleep,
Ah,
and they
What?
were interconnected through a neural network, so they were all in the
in
story.
the Matrix.
Yeah. So I really didn't like that. I thought that was a chintzy ending.
Yeah,
I prefer the ending of this show because it really nailed the characters, how important they were, and how better the people in the coma world were better than the people he knew in his real life. Like that moment when he's at his desk and he hurts himself and he doesn't feel it. In the real world, he's out of his coma and he goes to hurt himself and he doesn't feel it. And he realizes this world isn't real to me anymore. That world was. And he goes back to these people. And I didn't want to watch Ashes to Ashes because I didn't want an answer. I didn't want a continuation. I felt that ending was so beautiful for me that he chose
you,
that life, that world.
you
I,
don't need more
I don't know.
after this ending. I
I
would
don't
be
know.
honest.
That's the
He
only
had to
thing
put
that I
himself
was.
in a coma again.
No, he didn't put himself in a coma. That's the thing.
I think he did. I think that was the point.
No, no, he ended himself to get back.
I just don't think so. I didn't watch Ashes to
No.
Ashes, so I don't want to know. I assumed at the end
No,
of
I
that
situation.
he,
No, but in this
he,
one,
it was the distance was enough to kill him, but it would put him back into a coma.
That's what I thought too.
I got to tell you something, man. I believe in the world where cops can, legally manhandle somebody if they are a genuine suspect. I don't like the thing where because they torture people. They're legally allowed to torture people, which sleep deprivation, I don't care what anybody says, that's torture.
Oh fuck yeah.
well,
And
it is
they will
cataloged as a torture.
coerce them into false things just so they can get some fucking sleep. Because you do that to a human being, and they will say anything when they get to a certain point. They get so tired. So
Yeah, that's
that is
torture.
torture. And but I believe laying hands on someone and knocking them around, throw them around the room, absolutely is not torture. I believe that sometimes these guys, that's all they fucking understand.
Yeah.
Well, this is coming from the guy that actually enjoys being waterboarded. So
I did not enjoy it.
Where did you get that
If
from?
you took away that I enjoyed that when I told you that, you are mistaken, my friend. I was terrified because I went unconscious twice. I blacked out twice. And that's scary as fuck, not being able to get air in. Because that's what happens. They've got gravity working to where you can't aspirate because you've got a bag with the water's hitting the bag. Okay. And you can feel it in your mouth. So your body reacts to it. And what it does is it automatically locks. And you can't get air in when they're doing it. And I blacked out twice. And it's not torture, but I didn't like it. And I
but you
think that
volunteered twice.
They use it
I
as
didn't
torture.
volunteer twice. They did it to me one time, and they did it twice while they were doing it to me. They filled the bucket back up for a second run with me. And you would have enjoyed some of my responses because you think I'm colorful with the way I talk now. I'm telling you, man, when I was in the military, when I really started losing my cool, I apparently one time, I don't recall how I did it, but there was no other word but fuck in it.
Yeah.
A variation of fuck, like you fucking
You-
fuck. I'm gonna fucking
You
fuck
told
you
us
up, you
that
fuck.
before, yeah. If anyone can do it, it's you.
The only way I could get a good night's sleep is to be waterboarded. And if you talk to any of the guys in the military who've been waterboarded, they'll tell you the same thing. It is advanced interrogation. It's aggressive, but it is not torture because it's not actually doing anything to you. Passing out it isn't bad because you don't get air. You're not going to suffocate to death. You're just going to go unconscious and then you'll start breathing. Normal. But waterboarding is really tough. And I get why they do it. And people say, well, it doesn't really work. And I'm like going, we've gotten intel from doing that. That paid off. So fuck off.
Yeah, the thing is, any method of coercion.
This
Yes,
guy was a rough
you
cop
can
too,
get
wasn't
you get info, you get intel, but not always is actuable because people would say at some point people would say anything.
he? This cop right here is a corrupt cop, right? Am I remembering correctly?
I don't remember.
He's either a politician or something. He's corrupt. And
I think he
he
was the mentor of Hunt at some point earlier in his career, and now he's move up on the
he's
ranks.
doing something because, as I recall, Hunt didn't trust him anymore.
There was something about him, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember this, and oh man, what a great character he was. He is absolutely. I got to agree that he has to be one of the best British cops in the hit. In fact, I would say best TV cops in the history.
Yes.
I would put him in top 5. Well, that's what I'm saying. They'll say it's not good intel, you can't trust it, but they've multiple times it paid off. It was actionable intel.
Yes, but it's a
So
gamble.
it's a gamble, but they wouldn't have got it without it. That's the point. If they
And
hadn't done it, they would have never got that info.
no, and
And
my
so
question is,
if
why
it's
don't
if it's
use
useful 50% of the time, it's useful.
what? Okay, but
What
my
is it,
question is,
Dawson?
wouldn't be sodic pentothal more reliable?
Salted. What the fuck did you just say?
Sodium
What did you fucking
pentothal.
say to me, mister? What did you say? I couldn't understand it. Say it again.
Sodium pentothal.
What is that?
Sodium pentothal. It doesn't work the way the movies make it look like it works. You can.
Oh.
What is it?
It's a truth
Uh,
serum. It's just
Oh.
it gets you really high. It's what they gave. It's something like what they gave to Schwarzenegger. Are we gonna die? Yep.
Mm,
Arnold Schwarzenegger was so funny.
I
in that
love
movie.
that movie.
It's like, all right, what did they give you? They gave me a tooth serum, and they said the name of it, but it's basically similar to the way sodium pentothal works. She goes, so you have to tell the truth. And he goes, yes. And she goes, are we gonna die? And he goes, yep.
True Lies is my #1 favorite Schwarzenegger movie of all times.
Well, wait till you see Kindergarten Cop again, because with
Ah,
adult eyes, you're going to see it differently, and
okay.
I love that
I
movie.
don't know. Terminator 2 is solid movie.
Well,
Adult
it's a
Eyes, what are
remake
you
of the
talking
first film,
about? I was in
but
my
it's a
late
better
teens.
remake because
We're talking
T2 is
late
nothing more than a
90s.
remake of the first film.
Now, hear me out on this. Have you seen the uh, real director's cut or the extended cut of Terminator?
Are you talking to me?
To both of you, the whole story arc of Terminator 2 is in that movie. When once they escape the attack on the present and sleep under the bridge, Sarah comes up with the plan. Let's go to Cyberdyne and torch mm, the whole building. So it wasn't a coincidence that they ended up in that building. They weren't there on purpose to destroy it. They became Terminators in that same movie. But they took that segment out and then developed a whole movie about it. I have that movie, but the resolution is crap.
Mm.
All right, so here is the car. I just double checked. This is also a Ford.
Oh yes, GLX. I told you.
Yep. Man, it looks like
I
the old
love it.
Datsun. It's a gorgeous car. Now, oddly, for the American series, they went muscle.
Harvey
And,
Keitel was the chief, right? Yes, Harvey
yeah.
Keitel.
Open. And then I'm going to show you the car, which the car they use is the first cousin of the car that I love. I love the GTO. It's one of my favorite cars ever
Yeah.
made. And if I ever own a muscle car, it would be a GTO.
What year?
69.
I like the 56. No, 65. Well, are you going us to show? Are you going to show us the car?
Yeah, I'm downloading it. Jesus Christ. Give me a second. It was a web piece,
Oh,
so I
you don't like it?
convert it. So I'm multitasking. So this
Uh-oh.
is from Shutterstock, and there it is. And that's from the American series. And don't get me wrong, it's actually Mara is a good actor. This guy, good actor.
Mm.
I think they did a fair job with it. I didn't like the conclusion that they came to. That they were in hypersleep and on a neural network. So they all
Like,
had a shared fever dream. But again,
like,
you can't dream words, written
Mm.
words. You can't. The human brain doesn't do that.
wait,
It's always
but
gibberish.
unless the simulations make the text,
Well,
not.
the neural network wasn't doing that. It wasn't creating that. It was simply connecting them, and they all shared a dream.
Mm.
While it wasn't
Yeah.
being created by the neural
I don't-
network. The neural network was just connecting their brains.
I don't like that Matrix aspect at all.
Now,
I don't either. I thought that was a weak ending for the show.
This conversation is making me a little sad because it reminds me of 1899 and
Oh.
how we are not going to get the rest of
And
it.
now, by the
Don't
way,
get
this
me
year,
started.
everybody's finding that show. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, don't
Um,
even get me started.
People are coming to that show now and seeing it. Shows you how badly marketed it was.
Yeah.
That I read a few articles, sci-fi shows that you need to check out available on Netflix. 1899. I'm like, where were you when that show got started and needed you? Fucking dickhead.
No,
asshole.
not spoken, Bush. Written. Text in
No,
dreams
written words.
is gibberish.
It's always gibberish because our brain, for some reason, can't do that. Our subconscious can't make words, physical words that you can look at and read. Signs will be gibberish, and it's one of the ways that people who have sleep disorders, where they have nightmares, like I have nightmares, and one of the ways I learned to be a dream master was being aware of the fact that I'm dreaming while I'm dreaming.
That's called
And,
lucid dreaming. I do
Yeah,
that
lucid
too.
dreaming.
There are things that
And
give away that you're dreaming. And then you can calm yourself down, change the story, even make yourself wake up.
because I told you what happened when I was basically back in that shed in Arizona in this moment in my dream, and I was just in an absolute panic, and I turned and I saw that there was a barn. It's now a barn, and I'm in the loft, and I ran to the barn doors to look down, and I saw me looking up at me, yelling, "You're just dreaming. It's not real. Stop." And it did. And that was when I realized, oh my God, I can impact my own dreams.
I
Now,
used to
there,
think
one
that's
thing I'll point out
normal.
right there, look at him and tell me that doesn't look a little like Chief O'Brien. He looks a little like Chief
Uh-oh.
O'Brien sometimes.
Guys, Bush is doing his thing again.
Oh, good.
Just in the DM still? Usually you do the
Oh,
group,
Vinkman's
Bush.
girl is here. Hi, Vinkman's girl.
Yes.
Hi, Beckman's girl.
Yeah, the subconscious does that. And I'm not sure why our subconscious does that. When it puts words on signs or on paper, you can't read it. It's just
But
gibberish.
but you convince yourself that you knew what you read most of the time.
Yeah. It's like, well, you're acting. Dreams are
Mm.
just little movies. And I've had some, this is seriously, I had dreams that were movies, and I took them and I wrote from them. And I had this one dream end with fucking titles at the end,
Yeah.
credits, and an ending theme. And I woke up going, wow, that was wild. It was like I was watching a movie, and it even had end credits. That was really weird.
Speaking of dreams, did you make that clip
What
from the
clip?
show we watched? From the show that we started watching, Bad Monkey.
No, I haven't yet, but
Oh,
I love
yeah,
that show. If you new show, guys. Another cop drama comedy
What is
with
it
Vince
called?
Vaughn called
Bad
Bad
Monkey.
Monkey. And in the first episode, they say the name of the show within the show
Yeah,
because the guy that owns the monkey says, "Bad monkey, you're a bad
it
monkey."
is a bad monkey.
It's always misbehaving, but then it'll do something really nice and help him, like saves him from that German Shepherd.
Oh yeah. So
That-
remember that show that we were talking about, Florida Man? If you enjoyed that,
Yep.
go watch
Very
Bad
similar
Monkey.
to
You're
Florida
going
Man.
to love it. Yeah. Very similar humor and everything. It's
Yeah.
fun. Give it a chance.
Yeah, and what's really funny, like with me, I only remember my dream if I wake up at the end of the dream while in that REM state. Once I go into deep sleep, if I've had a dream, I won't remember it. And it's just something that happens. I only remember dreams if I woke up during the dream. Then I remember all the weird shit. And what's so funny is I will have flashbacks to a moment that is not from real life, but from dreams. I have this happen to me all the time where I'll think of something and I'll go, oh, that reminds me of that dream I had where, and I remember all the way back to when I was a kid, dreams, vivid memories of certain dreams.
I remember recurring dreams that I had as a kid. Sometimes I would even try and go back to a specific dream.
That's lucid
Was in a
dreaming,
place.
Snort. That's lucid
Yeah,
dreaming,
That's
where you're
lucid
able
dreaming.
you're aware you're dreaming and you can actually alter what's happening to you. And I've done that too, and Anima's done that too.
I've always been able to do that since I was a kid, and I thought it was normal and everybody was doing it, and I just never mentioned it to anyone. And then I was 16 or 17, and had psychology for a year in school, and the teacher started talking about that. And then he asked, "Is any of you? Does that sound familiar to any of you?" And I was the only one raising my hand and said, "Like, I've been doing that since I can remember," and I thought it was normal. And the whole classroom was like, "Holy shit, that is so cool that you can do that." That was a weird
Oh,
moment.
shit, that was a good one right there. The cuckoo clock. The cuckoo comes out, it's a miniature
Ooh.
of him.
Yes.
That was a great
when-
right there.
Yeah.
And I
Okay,
love it when
Snort.
he wakes up like he's not slept all night and his fucking boss just barges into his fucking apartment. Right,
Hey,
get up.
Zach's here?
We got a crime. What?
I haven't seen Zax.
Bush is hailing Sax, but Sax not here.
I don't see Zach.
No.
I haven't seen him either. He always says hi to everyone, and I always say hi to him. So
And he calls me Gare Bear. I love that nickname. Of all of the nicknames I've had, first person that ever called me that was John Alderink, an amazing comic colorist, amazing artist. And we used to hang out, and he always called me Gare Bear. What's up, Gare Bear?
you're my bear now.
Oh, you have to share him.
No,
I am
I
the
don't
world's
wanna.
Gare Bear. I'm your bear, but I'm the world's Gare Bear. Let's see. I'm trying to see if he's talking about
Okay.
something in the chat. God, that image of her with the sickle and hammer in her mouth, just fucking wow, dude.
Yeah, but you better don't show it.
Oh, I'm not showing that. But I might show the other one that cracked me up and I posted. Man, oh man. I've got a sore throat today from snoring, and it's pissing me off.
You
I
need to
should
call these people right after the show, Gary. They need to fix that.
Yes, Mom.
What? You keep forgetting stuff like that.
Hey, awesome one's in the house.
Yeah, someone.
Hey, buddy. Here's the one that cracked me up today. Brian, that 70s rock fan, posted this in the group, and it fucking cracked me up. I thought monkeypox was a hoax, and then I saw their face. Now I'm a believer. That's fucking funny.
I'm dead. Don't care, bear.
Don't care, Bear.
Oh, we know you care, Snorty.
Did you invite Patrick Jordan, the chief?
He's busy.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, I forgot to tell you. He wrote back that he's busy today.
It's always good to have him when we talk about cop stuff.
I look forward to a day when we actually are on just Rumble and not as well as Twitter. Twitter and Rumble are where we get a lot of good numbers, but our greatest numbers is on YouTube. It's why I'm not leaving. But we are so limited in what we can do when we talk about films and shows. Because showing clips, you risk getting claimed.
But
the other ones don't have a problem with it, just YouTube.
our chat is on YouTube, though. So you guys are the reason we stick to YouTube.
Don't suck up to the audience, for God's sake.
I'm not. They actually like me,
That's what it's all about, being liked, huh, Emma?
Shut the fuck up, please.
I just want to be popular. Is that so much to ask? They got some great 70s haircuts in this show.
They did it so perfectly.
Stuff that I fucking remember. By the way, this is one of my favorite images from the show, promos. This one right here. Great photo. And I love that he's echoing behind him in the tiles. I like that after a while, finally, because it seems like the cops in the precinct are just kind of busting his chops all the time or fucking with him.
Oh, we have a.
It gets a point where there's a lot of trust finally by its second season.
We have a bridge.
Do we? Oh.
Do we have? Yes, we only have the one. So here we go.
I like the idea of it going out the back door.
I don't think the monkey did too.
Yeah, but I want to play this other one too. Because again, this is a BBC series, so this video is the other backup for the back door.
Put on the telly to the BBC.
And the best BBC channel is BBC One. Well, back in the day, not anymore. Occasionally one will slip through because there was a recent show on the BBC that it's really good. I can't remember right now what it is, but I was like, holy crap, this is made by modern BBC? Oh, wow. Corgi, Corgi makes... Oh, no, this isn't Corgi. Who is this? Oxford.
What are you talking about, awesome one?
Oh, toys. Oh, awesome one. Okay.
Also, what the fuck is going on with Bush?
Why?
Because you
Calling
said
it-
something that he felt was touching,
Yeah, this is the first one, and
and
then
then boom.
comes this.
All right, Bush. Where on the bottle did she touch you? What kind of bottle? You know what kind of bottle.
I love that.
All right, so this is the miniature replica of the car, and it's made by Oxford Toy Company. I've never heard of them.
They could have done a better job.
Well, immediately, the first thing I look at is how far back the windows are on the
Yes,
side. That looks bad.
the
And
the whole
thickness-
rear is
well, the thickness of the doors too, with the where they dimple inward. It's I don't like that. That's a sign of shabby modeling. But still,
yeah,
I'd
and
probably own it if I could get it.
you could get something better.
I could just buy the model kit.
Yes, it's always the best option. It carries on much more work, but it's more satisfying.
I'm gonna look to see if there are any model kits.
Pretty confident I can get one in my preferred model shop here in Mexico. Oh, that model shop, man! Every time I get into it,
What's
ooh,
that model?
what?
I want to go back to
72?
Probably GLX. I don't
Oh, I
remember.
found one already. Perfect. Oh, it's diecast though. So, oh man. They're kind of a pain in the ass to repaint. You got to tape everything off. With the BBC.
I like
Word.
painting models. I used to paint my brothers because he didn't have the like calm hands
Patient?
and the patience too, but it was more like he felt he was too clumsy for
The
it.
hands
And
to
then
hold the paint.
and then it takes a lot of time, and he would just prefer to move on to the next model kit and start building that one. So I was the one dealing with the paint and the stickers and everything. I liked it.
So you were a team,
Really?
Mitch. You were the painter, and he was the assembler.
No, I assembled mine too. I just didn't mind painting his at the same time. And he wanted to build so many of them, and I preferred to take time and enjoy building mine. So I didn't have not even 50% of what he had in sets because I enjoyed dragging it out and spending more time. He was just like, let's finish this and on to the next one, on to the next one. Maybe because he sold some of them. I don't know.
I'm still trying to find a good model kit. All of the Ford Cortinas they have are from the 50s.
Nothing from the 70s.
Nothing from even the 60s.
Uh,
Oh, wait. Nope. That's a Fairlane. I own this 66 Fairlane. I had a 66 Fairlane.
we
And it
need
did some.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
No, he needed a different video this time, Martin. Look at what he's saying.
We're in the wrong studio.
Oh, fuck. Because he needs the "What Are You, German?" clip. That's the one he needs.
Yeah, but he gets that one first.
Yeah, well,
Is
it's
it in
on
here?
that
I don't
studio.
think that one's in here. Yeah, I don't see it. I have to go to the main studio.
It's either in the main or in the Monday studio.
It's in the main one, as I recall.
But that is not a Chevelle, Snorts. Yeah, 99 minutes into the show, you're letting the ball down, Tim. That is
Yeah.
not,
We're
that
waiting
is
for you,
so
you know?
unlike you.
It breaks my heart. It really does.
Are you emotionally blackmailing Tim?
Oh, here's
Just
one
a
for
little.
Bush. This one's for Bush.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
Oh, yes. That's a good one.
This one I haven't played yet on the show.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Bye-bye.
I don't get it.
There's nothing to get. Bye-bye.
Where's that from?
Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
Norm Macdonald when he was still on there before he got fired for not being funny, even though he's hilarious.
Oh, Tim was at work. You excused then. That's okay.
He was fired not for not being funny, but for making fun of the wrong person.
That's what he told him, though, when he fired him. You're not funny. Quote, end quote.
Ouch. That sucks.
And it was funny because he told the story on David Letterman. He's like, yeah, well, yeah, they kind of let me go. Yeah. He's like, well, what happened? David Letterman, well, what happened? He goes, well, I got a phone call from the head of the network. And he wants to talk to me. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's never good. He goes, hey, I hate to tell you this bad news, but we're going to let you go. We're going to end your contract. Oh, no, that's not good at all. And he says, but then he said, you're not funny. And I'm like, oh, that's even worse. I'm a comedian and I'm not funny. This is terrible news. He turned it into a hilarious routine on David Letterman. And that destroyed NBC. That hurt them. Because he did that on CBS and he called the head of the network a quizzling fool. And I don't know if he actually didn't know what quizzling meant. He's quizzing. I don't even know what it means. And he had to explain what quizzling is. And I'm like, Norm Macdonald doesn't know that word because he's very well read.
Well, I don't know that word. Care to explain?
And what?
I don't know that word. What does it mean?
Quizzling?
Yeah.
It's what leaders do. It's a form of political hand wringing, and they begin to question if they're in the right position or not, and they begin to look at their enemy's side sympathetically. That's what. You know, the thing about this show is every show has a case, an investigation that's done, and this guy's an asshole too. He's a bad guy. Is absolutely just great procedural cop drama. You just get all this extra stuff with it.
And you know what? I don't know if you're gonna be okay with this, but I think that they could have continued the show only as a procedural.
Oh,
I
if
don't
he
know.
went back, they would. That's all the
Yeah.
show would be from that point forward.
Yeah, but it was a good procedural. By the way, my friend, Andy Morrow just sent me a picture Done. I have
Uh-oh.
to share this. I
He
need
sends
to
weird stuff
share this.
sometimes.
No, but this is awesome.
I like Andy's stuff. I like Andy's stuff.
The picture is untitled British Gary.
Okay, now I'm
Okay.
curious.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Fucking, it's perfect.
It is.
Are you kidding me? That's great.
How did he do that?
That's from a show.
Oh, and he
Dad's
just
Army, I
put-
think was the name of it.
That is pretty cool.
Which brings me to, where is Andy?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
usually here on Friday.
He's probably just watching, not talking. Quisling was the name of a Norwegian collaborator. There you go, during World War II. And so his name got turned into a term.
Yes,
For
like
people who-
Ephialtes
Yeah,
or
collaborates with the
Machiavelli.
enemy. Because absolutely, Jane Fonda is a Quisler. But I'll be more blunt. She's a traitor, piece of shit, garbage, motherfucking bitch that I can't stand. She's disgusting. Talented though, very talented.
Tell us what you really feel.
Oh,
And
Luke's here.
He's here.
There he
really
is.
horrible about somebody, then go, but very talented. Because I'll still watch films that she's in, old stuff. But since the 90s, I don't think I'd watch anything with her in it.
Stop ignoring that Andy is here.
Who?
Andy. Jesus. He's too busy with his fantasy cabinets that we never get to see because of his weird background thing.
Gary, are those cabinets in
Yes,
here
ma'am.
with us?
And he even does that when we hang out in private. I never get to see what he's actually doing. I just see his hands
Yeah.
grabbing.
Did you
nothing.
not see it earlier? I turned sideways to grab the chocolate syrup.
Yeah, and it makes your
and,
nose disappear.
So you can't see the shelf, but you
Dude,
see me
you're-
pull the chocolate
you're-
syrup out.
Oh,
Your
that's
chair
weird.
disappear from time to time, just like now.
Well, there's a certain angle when he looks to the side where he doesn't have a nose. It's weird.
Absolutely. Although most of Vietnam vets I know have had the attitude that if she was on fire, I wouldn't piss on her to put her out. But I would wait till she was done burning and then piss on the ashes.
Ew.
Don Ecker is one of those people that said that to me. Now, there are two versions of songs with that in their title. And I think the best of the two is the classic song, Don't You Believe in Magic? Oh, a young girl's heart. That song. But I also really like the song It's Magic in the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
Yes. Oh, the Imagine Dragons, that is not a cover song, is a nice one too.
I'm forgetting it right now. Let me go look. Imagine Dragons. Because I do like them. They're pop.
I think
That
they're
they're
called.
good.
Well, I used to like them, but the last two records were awful.
Magic in My Bones. That's what you're talking about?
Maybe I haven't heard them in like 5 years, man. Oh, Bush. Why?
Brooklyn Bridge. They always show the Brooklyn Bridge if they want to establish it's New York. Good old Andy is here. I wonder if I got anything good video-wise to show. Andy. That's definitely British.
Oh, stop that. That's silly. That is a good one.
Oh, it is a good one. By the way, this is a video of Anna and me on a weekend where somebody attacked us and I had to protect her. And it didn't work.
There's a camera on my bike.
I don't know why that movie makes me laugh so fucking hard. When he calls her his little pussy fart, I fucking lost it. I'm like, nobody has ever said that in a movie before. Let's see. I'll find it. Where is that video? I'm in the main folder and I'm not seeing it. Stop that. That's silly.
Should be here. We have the middle of the film. Well, it is not. I think maybe you have to delete it to put some new ones.
I don't know. This is really shocking because we've always got it.
No, I found it. I'm gonna run it.
Stop that! It's silly. Very silly indeed.
There you go, Andy.
Thank you.
Okay, who deserved that video that you just played?
Thank you.
Andy.
Oh,
That should be his greeting video.
huh.
Yeah, Hank Evans for little girls. I like that line. It's great. And that he shoved a toy squeaker up his nose, his nostril, in that movie, so he would squeak when he breathed. It was so
Yeah.
fucking fun.
That must have been so uncomfortable.
What was that?
Having that thing up your nose? Fuck.
Was what?
Uncomfortable? Hello?
I'm having trouble hearing that word. What was that again?
Fuck
You're
you.
a piece of-
Just
I think
fuck
it's so
you.
awesome the way she says it. I just think it's awesome the way she says uncomfortable. It's sort of like that story by Davies. I was talking about it earlier when he was talking about this Austrian teacher that he spent 2 hours trying to get him to say vegetable because he said it funny with his Austrian accent. And there's the little girl.
Yep.
As they walk off, there's that fucking little girl again that you've seen throughout the show on TV with that fucking weird looking rabbit doll. What a great show. No. Man. And here's that one. We talked about this earlier.
You got any good stories I could tell them about how cool Nam is? You know, there's lots of things you expect in war. Carnage, the sleepless nights. But what they don't prepare you for is the incessant use of Fortunate Son.
Yeah, Don really loved that one when he showed him this clip.
Well, I made that just for him. So
Hey, Bush.
yeah, the
you
test
don't
card.
get
She
to
would always
tell me
pick
what to
the
do.
test card. You know, she and that fucking little rabbit would be on the test card, and
Yeah.
and then there was a classroom scene on TV, and she was there. Just it was just these weird shit that would happen throughout the show, and
What
we
the-
knew that it was all tied together. What?
Dude, I just found out. I have to get the model of the car. There's a a blunder in the show. The car is a Ford Cortina from 1974.
76. Oh, 4. So a year later.
Yes, a day in 73.
But they did so well on everything else. I can let that slide. That's okay. That's just a couple of years. They nail everything else.
Well, in my research, in my fan research, I found out that uh, cop from that era they shred the things. Many of the
Oh,
portrayal of the cops.
I would like to hear that. Where did you find that, and where is it, so I can actually look
Oh
at that?
man, I have to go. I have to look for that again. I was even in the channel when I saw that. That was a lot of years ago. Yes, but he
It's different from dreaming, I think.
I'm not gonna go there. But the production people
I don't
should
think
have done better.
I don't think he's making this world up. I think this world exists,
It's
and
real.
that's why.
Yes, it's a
But is that world accurate? I don't know. Because in many ways, if Hunt is the person that's there for a reason, he may be the person that's doing it. And he might be misremembering things. So the
as
fault
I
might be in
can
Hunt's
as
character.
far as I can remember, no. That would be the little girl. He works for her and he chose to be there instead of move on. He chose to be there for to help other cops.
And if you ever wonder why I talk so much during the show, when I'm
Is
not talking,
yeah.
it's quiet like that. That's why, to avoid lulls.
You don't want that air.
But I have when I'm doing
Well,
something, I end up getting quiet. So I'm actually uploading something so I can let you guys know.
oh,
And
take a peek in the private chat, please.
in a second, I'm in the middle of doing something.
Okay, doke.
And it's usually when Gary looks down and to the side that Martine and I know it's time for us to talk about just whatever, just so we don't have that air because he's busy.
Ooh. Well,
Are
all
you
in
looking
all,
up more model kits?
what?
Are you looking up
No,
more model kits? Because it just said, ooh.
probably,
Are you spending
probably.
money that you don't have? That's what I'm doing when I'm looking at stuff that I'm never going to buy for myself. It's spending money I don't have.
Any money I don't have. So here you go. I've got the thumbnail. This is for Monday. We're going to be talking about the new season of SEAL Team,
Bravo
the new
is
and
back.
final season.
Yes.
That's
I'm
one thing, and I'm
excited to
waiting for
talk
the
about
next
that.
one because this is a big one for tomorrow. And I've talked to Tom a couple of times also. That's why I got quiet and was talking to Tom.
Yeah, you need to do this tomorrow. You
So far,
postponed it now.
we're all going ahead with tomorrow's show. Oh my God, how long does it take to upload these cocksuckers?
So
It's
you can
1
try and
megabyte.
guess what show this is about. I had to kind of sort of
Unfucking
watch
how
the
long
movie.
it takes to upload these. This is fucking ridiculous.
I think I already
Final.
forgot that movie. There you go.
So that's tomorrow. We will be talking about Romulus because I will be watching it tonight. So I'm not expecting it to be good because I saw Andre's review and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to like this either.
Well, Loki did a quick reaction. Just he was right out of the cinema and he did it on his phone, and he was so disappointed. And I've heard a couple of our friends whom I really trust when it comes to that say that they were just disappointed and it sucked. And it's sad. Not that I care for movies like that, but I know you nerds are into that. And for
Well,
you, I wanted
I
it to be good.
I don't want to make an impression.
I wanted it to be
I'm-
good for you. I don't care about movies like that. I will kind of sort of speed through them if we do them on the show. Hashtag homework, but I don't care. I know you care whether they're good.
You see, Culture Casino gave it an 8. I'm not trusting any reviews anymore. I'm telling.
No, decide for
I'm not-
yourself. Go watch it. But
Exactly.
if it has
I'm gonna.
stuff from Prometheus in it, I'm gonna have a fucking problem.
Have you checked the private chat yet?
No, Mom.
No, I'm reading comments from Wolverine 626 over on Keith's video from yesterday. He's one of the people that's not excited about this news with Paramount. And I get it. Some people aren't. Tom's not excited because he doesn't like Skydance. He thinks they're part of the problem.
Understandable.
But my thing with Skydance is they do want to make money. And Star Trek's losing money. That's all it's doing. It's hemorrhaging money. They've not made a dime on it.
My thing is, I have seen enough empty promises in the last years that I don't.
Since Sherry Redstone, I don't get excited about anything because we expected Sherry Redstone to straighten this shit out, and it's gotten way worse. Yeah, Mr. H has a review too. Just dropped it 4 hours ago, so I'll be watching that because Mr. H and I kind of, and I know Nathan, Nate. I trust his opinion a lot of the time.
Yeah,
He's a good
it's just
writer.
that I don't want to take any bias to the theater.
You know what? I do want to bring up one thing because I could give two shits about the Olympics anymore. I think they're garbage. I missed when the Olympics were awesome, but today it is. But that Australian breakdancer, like, why is breakdancing in this?
That wasn't breakdance, my friend. That
she-
wasn't breakdance.
No, she looked like Homer Simpson when he was dancing on the ground, running in a circle, and it just.
Oh my
She
God!
looked
What-
completely mentally handicapped.
I want to know how she got there. She should have been the best or one of the best Australian.
Well, now we find out
fuck
her
did that
husband was her trainer. Have you ever seen him dance? It's even
No.
worse.
God damn! No, you gotta be kidding. Could you be worse?
I watched what's that show? The Australian guy, snarky Australian critic, something C. I forget his name, but I watch him religiously, and for years I've been watching him. He's funny as hell, and he's like, she owes us an apology. She owes the entire nation of Australia an apology. Then he
She
just
stole
starts
that
laughing.
spot from,
He says,
from all the
if you
talented
if you
dancers out
think
there.
her dancing was bad, here's her trainer, her husband, and he shows a video of this guy dancing, and it's like he looks like he's like not sure how to fight, is what the dance looks like. Like, is this how you fight? It's so stupid. Oh my God, all these celebs that are out there standing up for Harris. It's just like, especially Sean. Just like, what in the fuck are you doing, dude? You're killing your career doing this. Sean Astin.
Oh, I didn't want to see what he said. I didn't want to.
I refused to watch the video. Once I saw what it was about, I'm like, I have no interest in this. I don't care about their politics. I don't care anymore about this person's politics than I would anybody else I don't know. But I'm trying to decide if we should do a true story or false story today. Would I lie to you? Because I have so many stories. Is there any story I should tell, Enema? Tell me in a private chat.
I can't think of anything right now.
I have a
I'm
team
sorry.
that hits up useless for me coming up with stuff. You know, it's like I need to do these a certain way, but no help. So that's awesome. I
Oh
love
well,
that part.
let me help you. If you ask us for a anecdote, and if you said it on public, everybody will know the anecdote is true. So
But I've not always told every story.
okay,
And
Let's
and
do
I
it next
remember
week.
we need to plan this.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. So let's play this. All right. So I went out on a date with Zoe, the English girl, Lori's old roommate,
Original soy.
OG
the ori-
Zoe, yeah.
Zoe that my daughter is named after. And we spent the evening together, and it was awesome. But it was clear there's no chemistry that way. It was clear. We were just chums, and I was like, okay, cool. And I realized, oh my God, I think I stayed too late. So I hopped on the Green Machine bus, which is what we call the buses, the campus buses. They were just school buses painted really ugly dark green. And you can't see them at night. All you see are the lights because it blends in the night. I'm like,
Yeah,
what a
that's not dangerous at all.
that's not a bad idea at all. So I went to go catch the last bus and I missed it. So I had to walk close to about 8 miles to the dormitory where I lived. And I finally get there. And as I'm walking in the dormitory, Hutch greets me, Terrence Hutch Healy, good friend of mine. He that was his nickname, Hutch, but his name was Terrence Healy. He greets me and he's like, "We've got to go get some more booze. We're out of beer." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's a bad thing. Yeah, let's." So I said, "I'm done. I'm not walking any further." I just walked all the way from Central Campus to the very outskirts. So I said, "We need to find somebody with a car." So we found somebody with a car, and we destroyed a 1968 Mustang. Now you can decide
Mm.
if it's true story or not. I'm not going to go any further past it. But we got a kid on the hall, lived on the top floor, fourth floor. Lived on the fourth floor of the dormitory. Was the only one with a car that night that we could run into. And he took us to go get beer, and then we got him to take us other places. And in the process of going to those other places, we destroyed his car. And that is the story, and I'm sticking to it. Is it true? Yeah, we got 2 people already that said true. Martin and Vinkman's girl. And if you once you vote, I will tell you what I said to him at the end of this.
Penny
False.
says false.
See that or fuck. I don't know. She just said F.
Oh, it's Penny. Come on. She's a
Andy, you
lady,
get a
that
vote?
means false.
Andy, Tim,
Bush. What do you
Boosh.
say?
Come on, Boosh.
Oh, he's probably taking some more.
I'm in the middle of
pictures.
taking a poop. Don't interrupt my
No, he's-
pooping.
No,
He's
making
taking
his food
he's
porn
taking
again.
pictures of food.
It's food porn.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome one says false.
Oh, 10,000 books and more. Welcome. This is the first time I see you here.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
welcome.
And you say it's false. So I think we've got enough votes in.
Wait,
we got.
isn't that Lauren? 10,000 books, isn't that Lauren?
Oh, yeah, it's Lauren.
Ha!
Oh,
So it's false.
Knew it.
Awesome one false. We have more falses than true. Yeah, of course, he's talking porn talk now, food porn.
Yeah.
So we had 2 trues and the rest were falses. And the answer is it's
wait. Bush. Okay. Did or did not Gary destroyed Mustang at 69 Mustang, was it? In
Close enough.
what did you say?
Close enough.
Okay.
I said 68, but it's okay. It's
Okay,
close enough.
68 Mustang in the quest for more beer.
It wasn't a fastback, it was a coupe. Convertible. So I've already given the answer. It's too late. I already said it was true.
Oh,
But
probably.
Hi. That tale that Gary just told you is absolutely a true story.
And that's Zoe. And she is so funny. I love her so much. And so here's what happened, awesome one. We got this kid to drive us around to get booze. But then we were like, hey, man, let's go to this place. And hey, let's go here. So we ended up going to this one spot that Hutch and I would go frequent, which was this little pull-off. It's kind of a rest area. It's not an official rest area. It's just a rest area. You just pull off there. We drove over there, and this Mustang had a lower chassis than the car that we normally drive in, which was his car. So when we went to leave this thing, we tried to climb a cliff drunk and yelled at some guys out fishing, pissing them off. We kept singing it out loud to them while they're out there on the boat trying to fish. You know, your mother swims out to meet troop ships. Oh, we
What
kept
the
singing
fuck?
to him. And finally we decide, okay, let's go. And he's like, yeah, I need to get back to the dorm. And we get in the car. And as we're going, we hear this loud scraping sound under the car. And I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. That's some serious metal on rock scraping. And we jump out of the car and I go back, and it had ripped a hole in the gas tank. Gouged a huge hole. It wasn't dripping out, it was gushing out. Gasoline was pouring on the ground. And I'm like, we got to move the car. And so we moved the car away, and we're like, oh shit, what are we going to do? Because we're like 20 miles outside of town. Because we had to go almost to Norfolk, Virginia to get beer. And we're like, fuck. So we walk. And it's night. It's still night. I think it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time we hit campus, the sun was coming up. And we just went straight for the chow hall and cafeteria, and we went to have breakfast. I had scrambled eggs with fried bologna. It was terrible, but it was food. And we were just recovering from drunk. We walked the drunk off. And we then go back over to the dorm and get a ride from another friend to go to Kmart. We go buy a patching kit, and we go back to this place. And he's in a Volkswagen, by the way. So we're all cramped up inside of a Volkswagen Beetle. And we get out, Hutch and I get underneath, we patch the gas tank up. We got some gasoline, we poured it in there, and we're like, okay, this will be good. And we hop back into the Volkswagen. We pull out and then stop on the other side of the street and wait for him to come out. And he comes out, turns right, and right as he turns right, heading towards this bridge, this little overpass, we hear this loud snap sound. And immediately in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. And we could see that his left, we couldn't see the right wheel, but we could see the front left wheel go bam outward. And it started like shuddering, moving forward. It's just moving forward. And I went, oh God, he's broken the tie rod. Oh my God, we broke the tie rod. Oh my God, we broke that. And I say, and we jumped out of the car and we're going towards him, and he's still shuddering, moving forward. And then he fucking dead serious. He tucks and rolls out of this fucking car and rolls out of this 1968 Mustang convertible. And I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what? Why didn't he just stop it? You know, I'm like, because this kid didn't know how to fucking drive very well, is why. So he jumps out of the car and rolls on the road, doing about 15 miles an hour. It was the goofiest fucking thing I've ever seen. And we run up to him, help him up, and we look at his car. It goes past the bridge to the right of the bridge and goes off into the ravine. And I was like, oh, it's like one of those moments where there's nothing. It's a train wreck. You can't stop it. It's happening. And we go running over there to look down, and we see it resting at the bottom of this ravine. It doesn't look like it's hurt too bad, but we know that he's going to have this craned out of there. So a tow truck's going to have to get a crane and drag it up out of there. And he's going to have to call his dad and tell him that. And we're all knew this. And I said it out loud. I said, dude, I do not want to be you when you have to tell your dad what you did.
Oh my God. What he did.
And I said it that way, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. I just totally we just fucking abandoned this guy. Because we'd already done good. And it's like, fuck it, it's not worth it. So
Gary, I think you might have told the wrong story here. I think you're screwed, buddy.
I didn't drive the car. I'm not the one driving, Lauren. So anyway, we get back to town. As we're going back to town, that guy is just staring out the window, fuming. We get back, and he goes in the door, not a word, won't speak to us. We spoke to him. He did not reply. Later, we heard from a girl on the hall. She says, yeah, that guy fucking hates you. Like, hates me or hates him? He hates you both. He doesn't ever want to see you or talk to you again. And I'm like going, but we showed him such a good time, and one bad thing happened. So, yeah, true story.
And now it's on the video.
That's also the same day, because that was with all the things that happened. It's also the night that Jennifer Lawrence happened, and because that was part of the story too. And the other part of that story is I went to lay down because I felt like shit. And as I described, when she woke me up, Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Hartman woke me up knocking on the door. I got up, and I described it this way. I said, my mouth tasted like the underside of a sheep herder's sandal in June. It was dry and just gross. And there's this beautiful woman standing at my door wanting to talk to me. And I'm like, can I brush my teeth and gargle? All that shit's a true story. I lived a wild life. But it's not really me that makes the story so great. It's what the other people are doing that makes it so funny. You know, I'm just sort of like a witness to fucking awesome shit happening. I guess better his back muscles rather than his back door muscle. Oh, ha ha, Lauren. You can hear her cackling over there.
Oh, yeah.
She's a witch, you know. She is a witch. So she cackles like a witch.
Give her video, old man.
Okay, here you go.
Holy shit. I just heard a symphony of buttholes clenching all at once.
I love that one. That's one of the best backdoor videos we have.
So there's other comments, man. Yeah, get some other comments up there. Get more people before we go. Time for rebuilding. That guy wanted nothing else to do with us. He was so fucking angry at us. And look, I don't blame him. You know, we shouldn't have kept him going, but we're Like, hey man, we're already out. Let's go here. She bewitched,
Oh,
bewitched.
Shenatsky, good,
She's
good
got
to,
me in her spell.
so good to have you here, even when we're ending the show.
I'm starting to rethink aloud. Gary didn't. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the next one. Wonder if Gary drove my house in Springfield as a young. Which Springfield?
Gary wasn't in Springfield when he was young.
Oh, when I was young, no, I was out in Virginia. I grew up in Virginia. And what's this? I suspect someone is a jinx. Not saying who. Moi? Look, man, I'll tell you something. A lot of awesome shit happened because of decisions I made, choices I made. And it wasn't always the best, but it was always memorable.
You're describing life.
Yep. I was notorious for taking turns in life that most people probably wouldn't have taken. They'd be like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I'm like, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Because back there, I didn't think I could die. I was a teenager. I didn't think I could die. Teenagers tend to think that they're immortal. And so I did a lot of crazy shit. But also, I hung out with some amazing people. Jim Woodward, Mike Beatty, Vic Armstrong, all those guys I grew up with. Just great guys. And wild shit would happen to us because of them a lot of the time. Glad everybody showed up. Good. I mean, this isn't like a great show talking about the show because I wanted more people, but y'all are pussies, man. You won't come on the show and talk about British TV, motherfuckers. So it was just us, and I think we said some great stuff about it. And the best part of this are the two main lead actors in the second or the third lead, which is the girl, Liz, I think her name is. Just a great cast. What a cast. So really good show. And if you've never seen this show, go find a copy and watch it. It's only 2 seasons. And I like that about British shows sometimes. They don't need any more than that. They run the show, it's popular, but we already have an ending in sight. So they got 2 seasons and it ended with his decision that real world wasn't real to him. And there's this moment where he sticks himself or cuts himself at his desk in the police station, and he doesn't feel it. And that was a sign. And so he goes up to the roof, and it's an echo of a scene that took place in the first season where he thought about throwing himself off the roof to get out of that world.
Yeah, we all know what you do for a living, Shanatsky.
He kills plants.
No.
He's a plant murderer.
He buries bodies for the mafia.
Yeah. That's why he's always out in the field.
Yeah, but are they shallow graves, Shinowski? Yeah, it's like Norm Macdonald making fun of psycho serial killers. He says, I don't think they're all that smart. They keep burying people in shallow graves. How smart are you to do that? Well, the cats kill the plants with their pee. I had a dog that killed the shit out of a house plant I had. I'm like, what's wrong with this plant? I've been feeding it. It's like all of a sudden and then I smelled the soil and I'm like, and I turned and looked at my dog. I was like, you little shit. He'd been cocking his leg up and peeing on it. So, but that's it.
But how the dog reacted when you said that to him?
He didn't give a shit. I said it like I said something to him, and his ass started moving. Like, you talking to me?
So he wasn't guilty because dogs they have guilt. They know when they screw up, and You chastise them and they go, ooh.
So, I'm sorry, Tom just messaged me again. So
Oddly
everything's
enough,
looking good for tomorrow, guys.
nice. Oddly enough, my first cat, he knew too when he was fucked up, when he has fucked up, and he display guilt in order to to regain good graces.
By the way, we will be doing Equalizer, or did we already do Equalizer? Did we already do it?
We did, yes. We did. We need
Okay.
to do the second and the third one.
And I'm not sure if we should do it on Saturday or on Wednesday, because I think I want to do that one on a Saturday, Equalizer 2.
Hmm.
And then we can do Equalizer 3 on Wednesday. Kind of mix it up a little bit.
How about Man on Fire?
Man on Fire is definitely on the list. I love that fucking movie. But here is a really big one we're going to be doing. And I want to do this actually sooner than later because I think this film it's absolutely on my top 10 favorite films of all time. But I also love the original series. It was a really good show. And the shit show, I just watched making of this film was a shit show. Is a good little docuseries. I shared it with you guys in the private chat,
Yes.
Martin and Anima. And I highly recommend it. If you've never seen this movie, watching this film. I'm waiting for it to upload, so I'm just talking till the fucking thing decides to upload. These aren't that fucking big, and I don't know why it's taking forever for an image to upload.
Well, I can tell you this. You haven't said the name of the movie yet, so I wouldn't spoil it. Or maybe not. It's not a spoiler. Maybe it's a clue. If the movie was a shit show, there's a line from that movie that applies to how I see it, and it's I don't care.
I knew that was the line
movie
because so many of the lines, and it ended up Tommy Lee Jones felt that he had come up with that line himself because they ad-libbed a lot of dialogue because there was no written dialogue. They started the film without a finished script, and they got to this moment where they would just come up with some of the best ad-libs. Some of the funny lines you hear in the film were not scripted. There were the things said between the characters in character, and I thought it was just great that they did that. And Harrison Ford actually wasn't going to do the film at first, but then they said something to him that they agreed that this should be a one-shot film, that they could turn it into a property with the Marshal, but that his character should be
was done. His art was done.
Yeah, it was a run and done film, and Ford liked that. And so Harrison Ford is the fugitive. Why this film fucking rocks a film discussion. That movie has so much cool shit. And there's a big moment because Tommy didn't want to shoot at Harrison Ford's character. He was having an argument with the director and the producers that he didn't want to shoot at it. And then one of the people involved with the writing, I don't know if it was an assistant or who it was, turned to him. He says, "So let me get this straight. You have no trouble shooting a black man at point blank range in one scene, but you have trouble shooting the white guy. Tell me how that's going to look in the film when it's done." Tommy didn't say a word. They went back to set and he shot several bullets or blanks at Harrison Ford and stopped arguing.
Most of them to the head.
He followed him down. If you watch when he does the scene and he's falling because his foot gets caught in the electric door, and as he's falling, the bullet hits track him going down.
So hell of a shot.
The last one was straight to his face. And you get to see the close up of it hitting, and Harrison Ford's face reaction to that last bullet hitting, clearly where his face is. I love that. Tommy, shut the fuck up.
Max Demon is here with a hell of a comment.
Tangential comment to the conversation. Oh, hearing Gary sing the theme for Bewitched. I have a copy of Baba Black Sheep signed by Boyington to William Frog with who was a writer on the show. That's great.
Signed by Boyington.
Yeah, the real guy.
The fuck?
He was alive when they made the show, you know.
Good
He did.
one. Awesome.
I do love that film. I think it is one of Harrison's best films. And it should have been called The Running Man. But it was based on the series of Richard Kimball running from the police. And it did. This is an early film that pulled that shit, the production stuff, like Tom Cruise did with Top Gun Maverick. That there's no special effects in this. Everything you see is in the camera. It's real. And it's like, well, come on, man. And there's this great moment where you see him and the train's coming at him. And
Yes.
he jumps. And you see an
That's
explosion
clearly
of the train
not.
hitting the soil. It's rear screen projection, but they shot it once and he didn't want to do it again because it was a jump and he was already injured. And he didn't want to do it again. So they got hold of a friend of Ford's who is a director and had him come in there to convince him to do the scene again. And he did. And so the scene we see in the movie of him jumping and the dirt exploding, the train impact, was the second shot. Because the first one, it didn't explode right. It's like he jumped, the train hit, and then dirt flew. And it was just out of order, and it just didn't work. And they're like, we got to do it again. He goes, I'm not doing it again. And Harrison Ford could be a grumpy son of a bitch. And but anyway, also in that, the train itself, that train in that shot, was a miniature.
And
that
it
they
shows.
projected on.
Let
So,
me tell you,
it's still
it
very good.
shows.
It's a larger scale. It's a larger scale train, but it still looks like a miniature to me. But it's a great scene. And they shot from two different angles, him jumping off the bus and then jumping off the earth. Oh my God.
And to their credit, miniatures look better than CGI.
But on the other front, that was a real train that wrecked in some of the shot. And in fact, the guy who plays one of the federal agents, the guy with the red hair that used the word hinky in the movie, it's funny as hell. He said that. He is the actor went and found the train and the bus. It's still there in North Carolina.
Nice.
And the reason they shot it there was North Carolina was the only state or the first state to say yes to letting them derail a train on an actual train track.
Okay. Let's see this. Max Damon knew Boyington in '86. Yeah, the gun show.
Oh, he was a drunk dude. He was,
and then,
awesome, but drunk.
And we have this. The Japanese pilot who claimed to have shot him down, since debunked, was also there selling books. How were they not going to in a fist fight?
Yeah, Boyington's like, you didn't shoot me down, you son of a bitch.
Well,
Boyington was a troublemaker.
I think it's time we wrap up this one.
Yeah, and by the way, he didn't get his name Pappy until later, after they had formed the Black Sheep Squadron. So, a lot of people don't know that.
What?
He didn't get that name until he was older. Yeah, he
They
was
were
older.
pretty
and that was the
chummy.
name tag. That's funny. So, all right, guys. Thanks, Max. Appreciate it, buddy. Hey, everybody have a good Saturday, or Friday night. I guess we'll see you later. Don't forget you got Doomcock with his Friday Night Frolics. Hours of endless fun, of karaoke, and whatever else he's going to talk about. Hanging out with him was a blast. I love that guy so much. I get such a kick out of him. It was funny. He did I neither confirm nor deny. Because I said, look, I get it when some people that are big on YouTube use a moniker instead of their real name to protect their family and to protect themselves from being attacked personally. by
And not even
major
and
corporations, and their
and
fucking fan base, a supposed fan base. They're fucking bullies. They're all bullies, and they send them out to attack these people. So I understand, and he says, "I will neither confirm nor deny that that's why I do it." And I'm like, "That I get it." Life on Mars is a great show. Should have joined us, Max. All that was here was just the three of us today, and everybody's afraid to talk about stuff like that, so nobody showed up. I like it when people leave me hanging. Makes me feel loved. So we're out of here, and everybody have a good Friday. I want to thank everybody for being here. Penny, Christian DeLorme, Old School 1974, CJ with the action grip, Boosh, Snortopoopas, Cuber, Vinkman's Girl, Awesome One, Andy Morrow, Shanatsky, and of course Max Demon. Thanks for being here, man. We had a steady watch between 30 and 40 during the show. We appreciate all you guys watching. Please click the like and make sure you're still following us. And also, please leave a comment because it really helps with the algorithm. We appreciate it. We're growing. People are finally really keying in on this channel, so we appreciate it.
Lauren. How dare you?
I rely on Martin to write these things down, so Martin's the one who forgot.
It is written.
I read everything that I saw there. That wasn't a comment.
You are blind. She's in the list.
Maybe he
Oh,
wrote.
that's because it looks. No, it's her name is written in a way that it looks like a sentence, so I skip over those.
Oh.
No, he added you, Lauren. I skipped over because I didn't realize it was a name, the way he wrote it. So anyway, everybody have a good Friday. Don't forget you've got other shows tonight. There's a lot of places you could go. You chose to hang out here, and we appreciate it.
John is playing tonight.
Oh yeah, Sean has game night.
Yeah, see, I always forget that. And you don't promote it very well for me to remember it. So nothing.
So it's my fault.
Nothing. No remark.
No.
You just 2 shows a week, right?
No, just one. Just Friday.
One. This Friday night. I know I'm number one. What are you? Wipeout. That's my love for the T-52s. Go listen to them.